Hi everyone, welcome to GR Codex.
In this video, today we are going to build your own ChatGPT like AI chatbot without paying for an API, without using OpenAI, and even without an internet connection. After downloading the model, in this video, I will show you how to build a full working AI chatbot using Python and Ollama from scratch. We are going to build our very first AI chatbot using Python and Ollama. The best part is that everything runs on your own computer. We are not using OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, or any paid cloud API. Many people think that AI applications always require internet connection or expensive API subscriptions. That is true for many cloud API based AI service, but not for today's project. With Ollama, we can download an API model such as Llama 3 once and then run it locally. After the model is downloaded, you can use it even when your computer is offline. During this session, we learned not only how to build the chatbot, but also how it works internally. We will understand the communication between Python, Ollama runtime, and that AI models. By the end of the today class, you will have your own working AI chatbot that accepts user questions and generate intelligent response direct on your computer. The learning objectives is understand AI chatbots, install Ollama, and download Llama 3 module, write Python code, and connect Python with Ollama and build an AI chat. What is a chatbot? A chatbot is a software program that communicates with users using text or voice. Generally, it accepts the user questions and provide a response. Example, if we say in the chatbot, if you type user types hi, then immediately chatbot say hello. So it's nothing but a chatbot follows an input processing and that output the model. Types of chatbots. There are two types is it. One is rule-based chatbot, another one is AI chatbots. So rules-based chatbot is nothing but it always uses if-else path-based chatbot, that is works with predefined rules. So we already defined some questions based on that it will answer. That's it. That is called predefined rules-based chatbots. Okay. The advantage of this predefined rule-based means it's fast and simple. So when I talk about disadvantages, cannot think, cannot learn, and limited response will be given in this rule-based chatbot. AI chatbot. An AI chatbot is artificial intelligent chatbot. Is a software application that can understand human language, process user questions, and generate intelligent response using artificial intelligence and large language models. Do not rely only on predefined answer. They understand the meaning of the question and generate a new response based on what the user asks. Give simple example for this AI chatbot. Assume that when you ask your teachers a question, the teacher understands your question and gives an answer. An AI chatbot works in a similar way. It listens, read the text, understand the meaning, thinking using its AI model, and then generate the answer. So that is what AI chatbot. Okay. What is Ollama? Ollama is a software that allows you to run large language model locally on your computer. Instead of sending a data to the cloud server, everything runs on your own machine. Okay. So the main benefit of this Ollama using in local machine is it's free. Okay. It offline after model download. No API key is required. Better privacy and fast local response. That is the main benefit of this running Ollama in a local machines. Okay. Next is, what is LLMR 3? LLMR 3 is a large language model developed by Meta. Okay. It has learned from large amount of text and can answer questions, generate code, summarize content, and much more. Okay, so this is a model. So there is lot of models available in the market. So example, we have LLM3. It's a company created by Meta. It's used for general chat and coding and local AI chats. You can use what LLM3. Next one, the Gamma, that is just Google, developed by Google. It's a lightweight local AI. Step one. Next, like that, we have lot of modules there, and DeepSeek is there. It's for coding and reasoning. Okay, so many modules are there. So the main questions which come is, when should we use the different modules? The main thing is what? Based on their user requirement. For example, if you are creating a chatbot, then LLM is enough. Okay, any LLM you can use it. Programming, then you have to use the model is called code model is there. You have to use that code model. For example, you are using PDF questions and answering, then you have to use LLM plus embedded model is there. That model you have to use it. For example, voice assistant, there is speech model plus LLM you have to use. So image generation, we have to use image generation model. So there are different types of modules that based on the requirement, we have to use that model. So LLM is nothing but it will, the models will understand English, Tamil, Python, Java, mathematics, and AI. So whenever you're doing any projects, the project is required like code base or voice base, or it is an image generation base or document search, like that. If your application you are developing, so based on the requirement you have to choose your model. So where the AI models used, like banking, hospital, education, software development, customer support, in many places we are using that AI modules. The overall architecture of chatbot. So the complete life cycle of chatbot is, a single query involves 5 distinct stages. First is Python program. The user interface or application logic send a request containing the prompt. Okay. The second is request library, an HTTP client that packages the prompt into structured format, that is called JSON format, and send it over the network to the local server. The local server is nothing but Ollama server. The Ollama server is a central daemon that receives the HTTP request. It identifies the target model and load it into memory if it is not already active, and passes the prompt to the interface engine. Okay. Next, LLMR3 model. The neural network processing the input is a layer to generate the most probable next tokens resulting in the text response. Okay, once the text response is turned through to AI response, that is called AI response. The AI response generate a text is passed back through the Ollama server, formatted as JSON, and delivered to the Python program. Okay, so I hope we will understand that the architecture completely. Even if we will not understand everything in detail, when we write and execute the project code, as we go through the code step by step, you will clearly understand the complete AI chatbot architectures. Okay, we'll see how to create a chatbot using a Python program. First, we'll see rule-based chatbot because we are discussed in the session. It is there are two types of chatbot. Is there one is rule-based chatbot, another one is AI chatbot. So first, we'll see rule-based chatbot. So rule-based chatbot is nothing but it's the simplest type of chatbot. It does not use AI. It simply checks the user input against predefined rules and return the predefined response. Okay, that is what rule-based chatbot. Okay, so first we'll write a program for this one. So I created chatbot.py. So I'll say print and open the bracket equal into, I'll say 50, just is printing, and print again /t. I'll say rule-based chat. Okay, and then first I'll say user equal to input and then /n. Okay, you particular. So I'll use if once you got the input, then I'll use if user equal to hi. Okay, so immediately I have to print when user say hi, immediately I have to print. I'll say what increment hello hello welcome. Okay, welcome. That's it. If user says else elf user equal to, I'll say hello. Okay, when user say hello, again I have to print what. Instead of what, I have to print hi. How are you? Okay, when I say hello, then I have to say hi, how are you? So again, if user says this is else if part, so if it is not match, then it will go to else part. So now I'll say how are you? When user say how are you, again he'll say I am fine, thank you. Okay, so that's all. That was the bracket. So I'll so just three enough. If you want to write more question, you can use more question if you want. So elf, I say user equal to by. When you say by, then I have to say something that goodbye. Okay. Now, if I want to come out else, and then I'll say print, it will say sorry, I don't understand. Okay, that's it. This is a program. Something else. Welcome to Barriers aware of our you. Can you so and say goodbye. Now run this program and say what py space chatbot.py. I'll run it. So rule-based chatbot. So I'll say hi. I'll get hi. Again, I run the program. If I say hello, I'll get hello. Hi, how are you? Okay. If I say chatbot, again, if I say bye, then it say goodbye. For example, if we say something then sorry, I don't understand. So you understand, so this is called predefined chatbot, or you can say it is a rule-based chatbot, because already it is defined for each questions. Okay, so this is basic chatbot. Now this program, it's ask only one questions when you execute this programs. So I want to ask multiple, more than one questions. No? Then you have to use what? While loop. So here I'm using while loop. So in the rule base, you can say it as while true. That is true means, so always this loop always will be true. Okay, so I'm just making this one. Okay, but here you have to use another elif. If user type exit, then I have to say exit, then I have to say break. I have to break this loop. Okay, so now if you run this program, so continuously you can ask the questions. When you say hi, hello, that one, hello, welcome you. When you say hello, it'll say hi, how are you? When you say bye, so sorry, it'll say, if you say bye, goodbye. When you say exit, it'll exit the program. You understand? Okay. Now, same program, we can use another approach is called dictionary based. Okay, using a dictionary based, how we can achieve this one. So same, this is rule based chatbot only, but we are going to use what? Dictionary. So what you have to do, I'll save this program. I'll just copy this program and I'll paste it here. I'll make this, rename this one. I'll rename it. So I'll say rename chatbot 2. Okay, here I'll use one variable. That variable name is response. Okay, and response equal to, I'll say open and close bracket. I'm using key pair values like, so I'll say hi, same thing, and then double quotes, I'll say hello. Okay, and next question is, I'll say hello, and then colon, double quotes, hi. Same text we can give. So welcome. So whatever text you want, you can give it here. And again, I'm saying, how are you? So say, I am fine. Okay, comma, and then say some other question also we can add it here. What is Python? Say Python is a programming, okay, language. Okay, so that's it. So and then I, okay, and then you can say goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, and that's all. So add this one, comma. Now, write welcome on the same thing here, but here you will remove all this thing. If user equal to, when user type exit, okay, then I'll say if you want to add some text, you can add this text what, okay, space, thank you, okay, and then close it, and then I'll say break, okay, and then print. So this is next, so I'll give that print what colon comma response dot get method is that. So using get key pair values, we are using that one. So I'm using the key which I'm using what user, because whatever input I'll give, for example, hi, if I type, then hi will be stored in the user. So using that key, I'll get the values. Okay, so if the values, I'll say, in case if you get wrong answer something, then I'll say sorry, I don't understand. Okay, so just close it. Now run this program. Say Python 2. Okay, now rule based. So now I'll say hi, hello, hello. I'll get it. Bye. I'll say it. I'll say exit. Same program. So this rule based. So that is nothing but dictionary. So what are the questions you have in the response? We have stored it here in a key or value based. So based on that key, we'll get that output and it will display another one. Okay. So this is what key pair value. Okay. Again, if I run the program, if I say something, then sorry, I don't understand, because the key is not matched yet. So I'll say sorry, I don't understand. Clear? Fine. Now I'll say exit and exit the program. This is dictionary. Next, we'll see menu-based chatbot. So this menu-based chatbot we can see in many service companies like internet connections, or it'll be that like insurance. They'll give list of service when you chat in the portal. So immediately it'll list that number of questions. When you select it, then it'll reply for that question. So that is called menu-based chatbot. So now we'll see how to create this menu-based chatbot using Python program. I'll say chatbot 3. In the chatbot 3, I'm using this one. So I just remove that one. So response, I remove this one. I remove this. Now while true, I'll say print. So here I'm printing while, I'll say print slash n, choose the option, choose the option. Okay, now print, then I'll say one dot next print. Now 2 means a, next print 3 means Java, and then print 4 means exit. Okay, now I have given multiple options here. Now input, once if you got the input will use it user. So now the choice equal to 1. So the user equal to, it is 1. Print, we can say it is nothing but Python as the high level programming language. Okay, so 1. So now I need to give break. So it is user equal to 4 now, and break went down. So now again elif, that is else if user equal to 2. If it is 2, then print and say what 2 is what 2 is 2 is a, right? So a means artificial intelligence. Okay, So that's all. And if it is 3, choice, choice, yes, okay. Finally, I'll say else if user equal to 4. If it is 4, I'll say print thank you, and then have to say exit. Okay. Or else you have to say print invalid choice. Okay, that's all. Now if you run this program, I'll say it is clear the screen. If I run this program, now the chat program is what? 3. So now if I say 1, I'll get that Python is high level program language. Again, if I say to A means artificial intelligence, and 3, I'll get that one. If I say something, I'll get invalid choice. If I say 4, I'll get exit. Okay, so I'd say 4, exit. So why exit is not working for us? Thank you, and exit has to work. So I'd say 4 only, right? So I'll say 4. Again, why I'm getting you? I'll user return, then 4 is exit. I'll say exit 4 only. And thank you. And exit, has to exit, right? But why is not exit? Okay, sorry, I've written that exit. So it's not exit, it's a break. Because we are using loop, right? So it break. So now save this, run this program. I'll say 4, I'll be exit. Thank you. Okay. So this is what menu-based chat. So many places they use menu-based chatbots. So these are the types of chatbot. As it is rule-based chatbot, we can use it. Okay. First, we'll start writing the chatbot Python program. Okay. Before that, we need to do some environment setup. So what you have to do, we have to install that Ollama server here. So first we download the Ollama server. I'll tell you how to download that one. Here you can download Ollama. So just type that download Ollama for Windows. Okay. So it will give that Ollama link here for Windows, download for Windows. So the Ollama will download. Once the download is completed, just run this setup. Ollama will be installed. So already I installed in my local machine. Just I'm going to check whether that Ollama is installed in my machine. So I'm going to check the version. We'll see how to check the version. Okay. So I'll stop it. So open the command prompt. Just I'm opening the command prompt. Just open that command prompt. Okay. Here, just type that Ollama version. So Ollama is installed. So I am just my version is what? Version 0.331.2. If you want, you can download and install the latest version. I installed that version here. Next, so you can next thing is what? you have to install that what do you call that LLM 3, that is module we have to install. Already I said that Ollama is nothing but it's a server, but if you need it, LLM 3, that is modules. So many modules are available. So first we are going to install that LLM 3 modules. So how to install that LLM module means you have to use the command called OLLM and full LLM 3. Okay, if already installed this one, so we'll say 100% it's successfully installed in this rating manifest. So it will be 4.7 GB. So which version you want to install, that we have to mention it here also properly. So now Ollama server is installed. So if you want to check that installed modules in the local machine, then you can use another command as called Ollama list. So these are the Ollama I installed in that one. Google I'm installed in the Gemini I installed in the Llama 3 latest. So many models I use in that one. So I'm going to use only Llama 3 module for my Python programs. Okay. Now we'll check how to run the model. So if you want to run that model, then use Ollama command and use run, and the module name you have to give. So LLM 3. Okay, now if we give this LLM as running now it is LLM as ready. So if you want, you can give any questions. So immediately it will respond. Okay, just wait. So now I'm giving hi. So immediately it will reply. Okay, hi, it is nice to meet you. So you'll give reply to that question. So another message, if you want, you can give another question. What is AI? So if you say that, it again it will return it's referred to artificial intelligence, refer to this one. So this is called LLM. LLM run the LLM. Okay. So whatever modules you want, you can run using that LLM run command. Okay. So okay, now LLM is running, so no problem. Now we have to write a Python program. Once a Python program is created, then we'll check how to link with that the Ollama server, and then how to link with that LLM models. Okay, so now we'll check if the Ollama server is running. So what you have to do, you need to type that HTTP colon localhost colon and then 11434. That 11434 is a default port for that one. So now it is says OLMS is running. So that means what? OLMS server is running. Okay. If you want check it in that command prompt also, you can do that one. So just open the command prompt CMD, and then here you can use the command called curl. So curl, that's command URL. So just console your HTTP colon and then double slash localhost and then colon. So you have to use 11434. So you'll give the output as OLMS running. Okay, clear. So the OLMS running successfully. Now write a simple Python program, and we'll see in the UI, write a Python program. We'll check whether Python is your Ollama is running or not. Okay. Now we'll start creating a chatbot program using Python. So here I'm using chatbot folder. Inside the folder, I'm creating one chatbot file. So I'll say chatbot. I'll say chatbot.py because this is a Python program. So I'll say chatbot. So inside the chatbot, first I'm writing the importing the request library. So I'll say request. Once a request is done, then I'm using try, because try catch block I'm using for this program. Here I'll say response. Response equal to a request dot See, request is an HTTP method. So HTTP, we are using one library, HTTP library. In that you can use get method and post method thing. You can use it. Now I'm currently using get. I'm not passing any parameter for this one. So just I'm using get method. So I'm using get HTTP uh, colon double slash localhost colon of 11434. So just I'm checking that server is running. Okay, so I'm using what request.get with the URL. So next print and say a response dot and then I'll say what text. Okay, now exception, I'll say except, and I'm using exception class in that I'll say print use exception colon print. I'll say Ollama server is not running. Okay, I'm just printing this value. Ollama server is not running. Okay, okay. Now run this program. So save it. Now run the program py.python.chatbot.py. Now when run this, so Ollama is running. Okay. So simple program, just I'm checking if that Llama server is running or not. So when I give request and using get method, so the output the server will get take the request and will give response, and the response will be stored in the response object in that response dot text. So I'm printing that response values. So the text, so I'm getting the output as Llama server is running. Okay, Llama is running. Fine. Next, we'll write a complete chatbot program. Now we'll write a complete chatbot program. So before that, I just remove all this code, like catch and all. So I'll remove it. First I'm using, before removing that, I'm taking that URL here. So I need that URL. So I created one variable, URL variable. Here I add this URL here. Okay. And next I'm using model also. So I'll say model equal to, and which model I'm going to use, Llama 3. Okay, so that model I'm using, sorry, not LLM, Llama 3. Okay, so this is a model I'm using. Next, I'll write a question equal to input. So I'm using input method. So using input, I'm getting input from the user. So I'll say u colon this one. Okay, so now I got the input. The input will be, that is questions I got from the question variable. So after that, if I want to create a payload, okay, the payload equal to, I have to say this is here I have to say model, which model I'm going to use it. So the model is nothing but model variable, I'll give it. So I'll say model and then comma, and next I'm going to use the prompt. The prompt is prompt which I am given in the which variable will be in the question, right? So I'm using question, and next is what, stream. So stream, so without stream, so I have to give it that is a false, give it in this one. Okay, that's all. My payload is created. Now I have to send the question and payload to the server. So what I have to do, so I'll use try catch block. So I'm adding try catch block. In that try catch block, I'll say a response equal to a request, that is request dot, here I'm not using get, I'm using what, post, because I have to pass that payload values also. So I'm using post method for this request, and then I'm passing that URL, and then payload, status JSON equal to payload. Okay, that's all. So the so now the request will give to the Ollama server. So once that request is processed, I'll get the output in the response. Okay. So in that we are using that model. Which model we are using in the payload? So model we are using is LLMR3, and then questions also we are passing that one prompt. So everything takes and give it to the server. Okay. Once the server response we got it, what we'll do, we'll check the response status. Okay. So in the response status, I'll say if a response dot status code equal to 200. Always this response status code number will be 200. Once the status is 200, then I'll say answer equal to response dot JSON. Okay, and open and close parentheses, and then here I'll say it is a response. Okay, then attributes. I'm using this one. So after that, I'll print that AI output, that is the response output will be in that answer variable. So I'm just printing that answer variable to that AI response. Okay, that's all. Now, else in case if any error, the status code is not match, then I'll say print this is server error. Okay, fine. In case there is any error in that, in this executing the request post methods, any exceptions, then I accept and say exception, and then as any name you can give that one, exception E or anything, then print. I'll say what E. That's all. Now program is ready. Now run this one. So now user have to give input. So input I'll say hi. Okay. Now immediately, so it'll say server error. Oh, so what is that server error? So we'll check. So here the URL, I think it's not right, because the URL to now we are passing some input, that is you are passing some questions. The prompt it's to generate that generate that response, right, for that one. So here we have to use slash API slash generate. That one we have to use it. Now we'll check. So hi, now I can hit it. So that is an API you have to pass it. Oh, I think I'll get that answer. Okay, now I got it. Hi, it is a nice to meet you. Is there something I can help you with that point? So now chatbot is working. Now I'll say again, I run the program. Now I'll say what is Python? If you ask the question, and answer. Wait பண்ணுங்க ஒரு நிமிஷம். So now you got that output for this question. So it is Python. So immediately it will answer for this question. So you ask any questions, so it will execute in the Ollama server, and then it will load at the Ollama model and give it to the Ollama model, LLM model, and then LLM model will execute and give the output to the Ollama server. Again, the Ollama server will return the output. Now we are printing that output in the console. Okay, so this is what the program is working. Fine. So if you are running in local machine, before running that, you can see that how much memory is using and CPU is utilized. You can see in that one. Example, we are asking, uh, oh, what is your name? I'm asking to the chatbot. Okay. So now I'll say, I run the program. What is your name? I'm just asking. So before that, check the status of that performance of that CPU and memory. Now I run this program. Now you see that now the CPU utilizations will be high. So it'll take that. So now that Ollama server is executing, loading that module and run that is pass the question to that Ollama server, that is model, and then you'll get that output in that one. So after output, that utilization of CPU will be less. So you can see that one. So that is an disadvantages that if you are running in the local machine, the CPU will be good CPU and that huge memory will be utilized. So that as well you have to take care of that one. Okay. So now in this program, if I want to continuously, so now only one question I'm able to ask to this chatbot, right? Now I want to ask question continuously. Then what you can do here, so you can add everything in, put everything inside that while loop. Okay, so very simple. So you can put everything in that inside while loop. So then I'll say while true. Report like this, everything is being the block. So I'll just add this one. Now true, you have to give it in caps. It's a Boolean value. So give it this one. Now run this program. Now any question you can ask. Hey, so we say like that. So again, you so now you got that answer. Okay. Now the problem is what if you want to exit this chatbot, so it's not possible. So again it will ask. So what you have to do. So now I'll just break this loop. I'm using what Control D or it is Control C to exit the project. Now before after getting the input, so I have to check whether it is. So here I have to add one if, and then I'll say if the question dot lower, which is equal to exit, then I can say exit, I can say break. That's all. So I'll break this loop. Okay. Now run this program. Don't give semicolon here. Now run this program. Now when user say hi, I'll get that output. So again, I want to continue. Then you can give any question. Otherwise, you can say exit. So automatically it will come out from the loop. So you can add loop for this one. So this is what a chatbot. So basic chatbot we have created. So just we are getting input before after getting the input. So we are deciding which model you want to pass to the Llama server to take. It's okay, and then prompt we are passing here, and then string. So after the request.post method, we are passing URL and JSON. The payload we are passing as a JSON equal to JSON. Once that request is sent to the server, you will get the response from the server. After the response, we'll check with the status code. If status code is 200, then we'll proceed this one. Otherwise, we'll say server error. In case if you are executing, you are getting any another external errors, then we'll say error message here. Clear? This is what chatbot. I hope you understand this chatbot program.